If you own a business, there are so many reasons why you would consider taking on a loan. In today's video, I want us to look at the only reason when you should consider borrowing. Now, before you can even consider borrowing or taking on a loan, I would want you to consider the cost of borrowing because it can be dangerously expensive. You need to look at the total amount of interest as well as fees that will be associated with the loan that you want to take on. Just a month ago, the Central Bank of Zambia increased the interest rate by 50 BPS to 9%. This means that interest rates associated with bank loans are expected to increase. So it is very essential that you look at the cost of borrowing before you can even consider taking on a loan. Now, let's get started looking at the only reason you should consider borrowing. Hello there, entrepreneurs. I'm Mukonki Mkonkela, the host of the Ndalama Insights Business Show, where we turn your challenges into actionable insights. In today's video, I want us to look at the only reason you should consider borrowing. Now, the only reason you should consider borrowing is if you want to grow your business or if your business is starting to grow and you need cash to invest in the areas of growth. Some of these areas might include expanding your range of products or services or expanding internationally. Another important reason could be that you are seeing increasing orders from your customers, and this might require you to ramp up your production processes, and it might also require you to acquire new fixed assets as well as invest in recruiting additional human resource. Taking on a bank loan to invest in such areas is a good investment. This is the only time you should consider borrowing. It is when your business is growing. When you borrow for investment, we expect that you are going to make a return on the loan that you want to take on. This return is going to be adequate for you to repay back the loan as well as run a profitable business. Borrowing for investment, investing in areas such as I have mentioned, is a good investment because of the expected return that we expect you to make from taking on this loan. It is unlike borrowing for day-to-day operations. And most of the times when you borrow for day-to-day operations, you are either taking on working capital financing or a bank overdraft. Now, don't confuse borrowing for day-to-day operations with borrowing to invest in your business because it is growing. Most of the times, when you take on a bank overdraft or a working capital finance arrangement, it is not really an investment that you are making. If you don't manage it well, it could actually be an added expense on your profit and loss, and it could cut into your profit margin. It is extremely important for you to consider the reason why you want to take on a bank loan. If you are facing cash flow problems and you want to take on a loan to finance your cash flow problems, you need to critically look at the reason why you want to take on that bank loan. A business that wants to take on a loan for investment is one that is not facing cash flow problems, but has their cash flow sorted. And now they want to scale their business and take it to the next level. If you are facing cash flow problems, you are unable to meet your day-to-day operations, and you want to consider taking on a long-term bank loan, you need to critically look at this situation. Because your problem might not be because you don't have money, but because you are unable to manage your cash flow. From my experience working with small businesses, one major reason why they have cash flow problems is because of poor receivable management. You find that their customers take more than 60 days to pay them, whereas they pay their suppliers maybe within a period of 15 days. If you are in this situation, I know it is easier for you to rush to the bank and ask for a loan to cover the cash flow gap. But you need to reconsider this and look at managing your receivables properly. This could mean ensuring that you are invoicing in good time and you sit down with your customers and agree a reasonable repayment period such as 30 days. You also need to ensure that you have someone that can make follow-up calls to your customers so that you can recover your receipts in good time to pay your suppliers as well, so that you actually reduce the receivable gap. If you don't improve your receivable management processes, you could find yourself in a worse off situation than when you started off. Or you may actually risk losing the collateral that you pledged as security to your financiers. So it is very important that you consider, or you focus your energies on managing your receivables and unlock that cash flow, rather than taking a shortcut and rushing to the bank and ignoring the entire problem that you're actually facing. So the only time you should consider taking on a long-term loan is when your business is growing, because such an investment is investment that is profitable and that is expected to give you a return on your investment. And that return is also expected to result in increased cash flows that will allow you to actually manage your loan repayment obligations. Another important consideration you should take is how much you want to borrow. Now, we've got entrepreneurs who are so good in what they do such that they can actually afford to get $1 million. But when you are taking on a bank loan, you need to consider how much you really need. Because is it necessary for you to take the entire $1 million because you can actually afford to get it? If you did, you'd make a terrible mistake. When you are considering borrowing, you need to consider borrowing just enough, what you need at that particular time. It should be borrowing that will take you from one level to the next, not from one level to the next 10 levels. That would be growing too fast and could actually be a huge stress for yourself as well as your business, and may result in your business crashing. If you only need $500,000 to get you to the next level, only consider getting $500,000. And know that it is going to help you to take you to the next level, even if you can actually manage to get $1 million or $10 million. So, if you are an entrepreneur and your business is growing and you've considered these two questions, the first one is, are you able to afford to take on the bank loan? And secondly, is your business growing such that when you take on the loan, it is going to be a loan for investment that is going to give you a return? When you are able to say yes to both of these questions, then you are ready to take on a bank loan. And this is a bank loan that is expected to help your business grow to the next level. And then it can be true what they say, you are using other people's money to increase your own wealth. So all the best to you as you consider taking on this bank loan. This is what I had to share in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please consider subscribing to my channel and click the like button as well as the bell icon so that you can be reminded whenever I have a YouTube video out. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.